everyone, and today I will be giving my first book review on the series of unfortunate events. As the name suggests, this book is full of tragedy, and if you are, you're like, you don't like tragedy, then I prefer you don't read this book. But if you are a person full of, you know, you're full of excitement to read books such as tragic and mystery, sad and unhappy books, then this is made for you. I am a very neutral person, so I like this book, whereas some parts I did not like. So, in this book, there are three siblings, Close, Violet, and Sunny. Their parents died because of a fire that we don't know who caused. But this banker, Mr. Poe, who was a very close friend of their parents, came and became their um, guardian for a few days. They had a quite, bad time knowing that their parents died or they perished in a fire. But they gathered up their courage and were very brave enough to face any tragedy. So Mr. Poe dropped them to their closest relative, Count Olaf, but the suspense was that their parents never told them about this relative, Count Olaf, neither they ever visited him. So once Mr. Poe dropped them, Count Olaf from then wanted to capture their fortune. Before dying, their parents left a very huge fortune for them. So he was a very greedy guardian who wanted to capture their treasure, their money, so that he could become rich. Count Olaf, you know, he thought that he was a great actor. Indeed, he was. In the story, and you can even watch the series. Excuse me. In the on Netflix, he has done amazing acting. I mean, I really believe that he was a great actor, even though I did not like his role. But without his role, the story does not make any sense, and that mystery, that tragedy just goes away. So, they had very sad days living with Count Olaf. They had to do chores, they had to cook, and their parents never told them to work or, clean the floors or cook food. Their parents always wanted them to focus on their studies and become great people when they grow up. Unfortunately, they weren't able to become, you know, really happy, but all their knowledge, all their reading, all their courage helped them face any event. Whereas Violet was an indeed a great inventor. She could invent anything. And Klaus was a rigorous reader. He used to read and read and read. He had amazing knowledge. He knew about everything. And Sunny, as being a little child, she was a very, very, very strong dealer. She could carve anything. Either it could be metal or it could be the hardest thing on earth. Coming back to the story, these three kids were very sad. They didn't feel like living anymore. But their neighbor was a lawyer. She was amazing. She had a very aesthetic house and it was beautiful. She had a huge library, which sorry, I'm having a very bad throat, which was awesome. She could get anything there. But little did the siblings know that there was a secret, you know, organization formed by their parents. And there were people whom they would meet eventually as the story goes forward, but they didn't meet it in the first book. So, in the first book, it was all about Sunny, Violet, and Klaus facing tragic events with Count Olaf and facing his anger. Klaus was even struck by Count Olaf, and Sunny was about to die. The thing was, to own their fortune, Count Olaf planned a play so that he can officially marry Violet in front of the whole audience. So he also asked Justice Strauss, whom I earlier told you was a lawyer and their neighbor, to become a actor and perform a very legal wedding. If Violet didn't perform this wedding, Sunny, their sister, would have died. But being intelligent, Violet used her left hand to sign the official paper, which means that she cannot be officially married with Count Olaf. All Count Olaf wanted was to capture their fortune. And because of that tragic event that happened when Count Olaf wanted to marry Violet, Mr. Poe, their guardian who used to help them travel different places and drop them to their new guardians, took them away from Count Olaf and took them to Dr. Montgomery Montgomery. The story of Dr. Montgomery comes in phase 2 of the book. So wait till the next review where I tell you about the series of unfortunate events part 2. Till then, enjoy reading this book. Ta-ta!